That high-pitched scream when a muscle car flies past, that's not just noise. That's the sound of raw mechanical power being crammed into an engine. And the machine responsible for that instant punch? The supercharger. Today we're breaking down exactly how it works, why it's different from a turbocharger, and why car enthusiasts can't get enough of it. By the end, you'll know exactly what's going on under the hood when you hear that addictive whine. Let's start with the simple truth about engines. They're basically air pumps. The more air you can get into the cylinders, the more fuel you can burn and the more power you can make. In a normal engine, air is pulled in naturally from the atmosphere. But a supercharger, it forces extra air into the engine, packing in more oxygen molecules than the engine would normally inhale. More air, more fuel, bigger explosions, and way more horsepower. Think of it like blowing on a fire. If you gently blow air onto it, it burns steadily. But if you blast it with a fan, it roars to life. That's what a supercharger does, except the fire is your engine's combustion chamber. The way it works is surprisingly straightforward. A supercharger is just an air compressor, but instead of running off exhaust gases like a turbocharger, it's powered directly by the engine's crankshaft, usually through a belt. As the crankshaft spins, that belt spins the supercharger's internal rotors or screws or impellers, depending on the design. This forces air into the intake manifold at pressures above atmospheric level, something we call boost. And here's the magic. Because it's mechanically connected, a supercharger delivers power instantly. No waiting for exhaust gases to spool up like a turbo. You press the gas and the boost is there, right now. Not all superchargers look or work exactly the same. There are three main designs you'll come across. The first is the Roots type, the oldest and most iconic design. You've probably seen it sticking out of muscle car hoods in movies. It uses two meshing lobes to push air into the engine, delivering massive low-end torque and that legendary whine. The downside? It's not the most efficient at very high RPMs. Next is the twin-screw supercharger. It looks similar to a Roots, but instead of just pushing air, it actually compresses it inside the housing before sending it into the engine. That makes it more efficient and gives strong power across a wider RPM range. And finally, there's the Centrifugal supercharger. This one looks a lot like a turbocharger, but it's still belt-driven. It uses an impeller to draw in and compress air. And while it's great for high RPM performance and more compact installation, it doesn't have quite the same instant punch off the line as the others. Here's why superchargers make such a big difference. By forcing more air into the engine, you can burn more fuel, which can easily mean 40, 50, even 100% more power compared to stock. If you've ever heard of the Dodge Hellcat, Ford Shelby GT500, or Mercedes AMG compressor, you've seen factory-built supercharged monsters in action. And beyond the raw power, it's the throttle response that makes people fall in love with it. Tap the pedal and it's like your car just got hit with an adrenaline shot. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown and want more deep dives into car tech, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more where this came from, and you won't want to miss it. Now, as much as I love superchargers, they do come with trade-offs. Because they're driven directly by the engine, they actually consume some of the power they help create. That's called parasitic loss. You might lose 30 to 80 horsepower just spinning the blower. They also aren't fuel-friendly. More air and more fuel equals, well, more trips to the pump. And since compressing air generates heat, the air going into the engine can get hot, which is why many setups include intercoolers to keep temperatures down. At this point, you might be wondering, why not just use a turbocharger? The quick answer, superchargers give you boost instantly, while turbos use exhaust gases and can have a bit of lag before they kick in. Turbos are generally more efficient and can make huge top-end power, but if you want that immediate, in-your-face acceleration, superchargers win. It's not about one being better than the other, it's about choosing the right tool for the driving experience you want. Superchargers show up everywhere, from drag racing monsters to luxury sports cars. Mercedes-AMG's compressor models, Jaguar's SVR lineup, the Corvette ZR1, all proudly supercharged. And let's be honest, the sound alone is addictive. That high-pitched whine you hear under acceleration, that's the sound of air being rammed into the engine faster than it can breathe on its own. So the next time you see a bulge in the hood or hear that screaming whine from down the street, you'll know there's a mechanical beast inside, forcing every ounce of air it can into the engine to unleash maximum power. Whether you're into muscle cars, European performance machines, or just love learning how things work, understanding the magic of forced induction gives you a whole new appreciation for what's happening under the hood. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more car tech explained, and drop a comment telling me your dream supercharged ride. Until next time, keep the boost alive.